replaced. To get it completely sculpted, cast the ear, repair the tail, painting, sealing. He's figuring about 25 hours for about at $45 an hour, and then the supply is about $600. So if you guys are willing to, it was more than what, being that the repairs couldn't be done as well, so it's now you got to make the molds and everything else to get it sculpted, which is the issue.
What was the initial, like, what was wrong with it initially?
The ear came off,
And that's it?
and the tail was broke,
Oh,
And it needs paint.
and it needs paint.
The bottom of it is pretty scraped from the mowers,
Yep.
the base, so that needs to be filled in. Is this the same guy that did the Muriel?
Yes. And I have reached out to a couple other companies, and none of them were interested. One of them said it was too much work.
really?
Yep.
But there's a mold for it?
He has to make the mold to get it fixed.
Gotcha.
Paul, were you saying there might be another person interested, or?
I don't know of anybody else. No, I've heard of somebody that didn't give me contact information.
Okay.
I think Levi made a comment that it was somebody, might possibly been the one that originally did it. So, but I have no contact information from him at all, so.
I'd reached out to one in Minnesota, and then I reached out to the Sculptors Association, that when they said they couldn't do it, then they said they didn't have anybody. So, it's either that or we leave it for a while. But he said he could have it done by the end of July, so. We could hold off on the decision too.
Well, we've talked about it and we got a price, so why don't we just mull it for a couple of weeks, or until the next meeting, and we get feedback from the community, and, you know, if it's 2 weeks, we can make a decision.
I like
That's my take on it.
Okay.
If people say you're crazy, or people say that's pretty reasonable for what he's looking at doing, I know there's a lot of people that take pictures there, and it's become kind of a landmark type of thing, so, but I have no idea if that's a good price or bad price, I couldn't tell you. So, but Eric seems like he's been always treating us pretty fair on stuff that he's done, so.
And he said he was knocking down the price of the hourly wage of what it normally was for us, so. But we can wait 2 weeks and we can see where we're at.
Once it's in the press, we'll know.
They got us a name, so maybe he could find us a donor to pay for it. All right. So today we interviewed 2 people for the lineman position. We got another one overnight, but we have we had 7 applicants, 3 that looked like qualified applicants that we could deal with. And so we're going through that. On the public works employee, we ended up getting 4 applicants, and Casey is spearheading that with the guys to make sure that position is getting held, and then should have a person for us to make a decision on next meeting, I hope. And then I think she has the 3 summer employees correct lined up. Is that true?
We've got 2 lined up for interviews. One I have to call back, and then there's actually 2 others that need to call me back if they'd like an interview. So there's actually 5.
Okay, for
Yep.
the summer one.
Yep, so 2 for sure. One requested a Friday interview, and it just won't work, so we're gonna try to bump him to Monday as well. So 3
Okay.
interviews total.
Okay. That's for the summer help, or that's for the regular one?
That's for the regular one.
How about summer help?
Summer help?
Yeah, did you guys have those all figured out?
Yep, so those two applicants that put in, for the last meeting, both of them did accept. And then I believe, Jay said that Greggy was coming back, so that makes 3.
Okay,
Yep, so summer help is taken care of.
okay. And then lastly, we need to make a decision on, he said it's fixed.
Yeah, Gary said it's loud and fine, so.
Oh, Mark had texted me and said it's fixed, so. We have six applicants now for the Public Works position. I would like to know your feelings on how you want to do it, if you want to do it similar to what we did with Casey's position, the audit position, where I'll put a group together with Public Works to do some preliminary stuff and then hold the final interviews, hopefully at the next meeting or on another date if we can't make it work. Does that work for everybody? And I'll have one other commissioner in on it. Sit down and narrow them down and then kind of go from there.
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay. And if you have any input on any of those, just let me know. We'll kind of work through that. Or if there's any things that stand out that you really like or don't like, we can take those into consideration. But I'll work with Casey and I know Zach and Brian and Jay were excited to see about looking at the applications, and they all have them, so they've been looking at them. I did not get the water lined up for you guys to have somebody come in yet, so I'll work on that for you guys to see that from the Red River Supply Project. But maybe Steve can talk a little bit about it too, since he's here, if he knows a little bit about it. There's one other thing. Planning and zoning is getting closer. Like I said, we did find out that one of our members is moving. So Paul Brown told me the other day that he will be done probably after this next meeting in May. He's moving to Kansas, if I remember right.
I think you said Kansas. Huh?
Yep. So he took a job there. Okay. JR, next. Anything tonight?
Nothing from me?
Okay. Casey?
I've got 3 things. The election is coming up. There will be a polling place in Mayville on Tuesday, June 11th. So get out there and vote. Cleanup day is next week. Then we already covered employee interviews. And then I didn't put Dan from Colonial Life on the agenda tonight, so I'm hoping you guys will yield some time to Dan to talk about Colonial Life. It's similar to AFLAC. It's a deduction out of employees' paychecks and a benefit to employees. Not paid by the city, just a chosen benefit that we could take on. So.
Okay. Jason, anything?
Nothing tonight.
What's dogs?
Dogs, next meeting, the
Next
sheriff's
meeting.
gonna come with. Levi and I have also been talking about some stuff too, so hopefully we'll be able to present something next week and put the sheriff's ideas.
The only thing
Or 2 weeks.
I was gonna ask JR is there a specific century code that says how long we have to hold them, or is it based off of ours? You know, like, I think we have 72 hours that we have to hold them before we can.
And I haven't read where 72 hours could be at in any places if it's not specified too, that we would just have to hold them before we could consider any other options, is what the sheriff kind of explained.
Right, and I don't know if that's, I just wanna know if we potentially change the ordinance, could we make it 48 hours, or does it have to be 72, just to make sure we're not trying to,
I don't know offhand, but.
But that, I wanted you to think about it. I was gonna ask you anyways, so I thought it came up, so. All right. Well, next we'll have Steve come on up, and if he wants to turn on the microphone, just hit it once.
There it's on. I'll just give you a quick update on all the projects we got going on, but the one that, we had a project kickoff meeting for the sidewalk, over I-29, and, they're gonna start construction middle of July, and they're thinking it's only gonna take them like a little over a week, but we'll see, it should go fast, hopefully they're bringing in a pretty big crew. So, once they get started on that, it should go pretty fast. We've worked with them before on concrete projects, they're pretty good. One other thing was we have the city needs to pay for the inspection test, or the testing for the concrete and soils. And we got a proposal from Veteran Testing. Also worked with them on a bunch of UND projects. They did a great job. Veteran Testing, they're actually located just out of Hillsboro here, about 5 miles. So that'll really help with the travel and keep the costs down, but right now we're looking at $3,250 is their estimate. They looked over the plans and came up with how many soil testings and concrete testings they would have to do, and that estimate. So if there's more or less, it'll fluctuate a little bit, but they're looking at like a trip charge of $3,500 or $35, and then they had different prices for the different tests and stuff. So I'd like to recommend inviting the Veteran Testing for the inspection for the sidewalk project, if you guys wouldn't mind.
Do we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion to approve that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Dave makes the motion, Paul seconds. Is there any other discussion? Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries.
The water and sewer project, all we have left is seeding and a little cleanup. I drove by it before the meeting here, and it looks like a lot of weeds are growing in the area where it was all disturbed, so we'll have to get them in to spray that and get some grass growing. Ryan Bach, I'll be out here the next couple of weeks to start seeding. Hopefully we get that done and wrap that project up after a couple of years extension on that. Levi, I will use some information on stormwater items for some stuff about the potential ponding, and then
Yep.
on an outfall for Royal Avenue.
Yep.
And then I talked to Jay a little bit about the helping with the bidding pool project, and he was gonna put some numbers together for that. We've had another pool project, similar kind of work up in Cavalier, and we ended up bidding it 3 times, I think, and finally got it to go the 3rd time. It took forever to find somebody that would come in and work on the pool when we had actually publicly advertised it and stuff. But so he was thinking maybe if we find out what the cutoff date is for the grant, but we could bid it like in the fall and get somebody to do it next spring. But
I think we could, yes, if I remember right.
I don't remember what the date is on that, but I'll get some numbers from him and we'll kind of work towards that maybe. And then the other question was, you said about River Valley Water Supply Project.
Yep. So they are looking for us to buy into it, and so these guys had some questions as far as the need and what, because it was previously made by a commission before us. Dave might have been on here to get that half a cubic foot per second supply, I think is what it was, if I remember right now. So these guys had some questions about what it's for and the need, and should we or shouldn't we, because this is the kind of the final decision coming up.
Yeah, I think the price went up too. They're actually asking for some more money. The first time when there was a request for payment, it was pretty small dollar amount, I remember, and now it's a little bit more. I don't know much about the price for it. I've been working a lot on the construction end of it and easements and stuff throughout. And the project itself is moving forward, finally making some headway. Up until this year, we only had 5 miles under contract out of the 140 miles. And this year we bid out 20 miles. There's 2 contractors, each have 10 miles. And there's actually going to make some headway this year and next year. And then at the next biennium, hopefully the state comes down with some more money and we can put a lot more pipe in the ground. And then there is one chunk that's going to be, the last chunk out to McCluskey is going to be a federally funded one, so that pipe can run separate from the funding we get from the state. And hopefully speed it up a little bit so we can get the project done for the next drought. But as far as questions about what your dollar amounts are and stuff, I would,
Well, not that, but do we need it? Because it was put down as commercial. Because if we tie into it, we have to pull it off the red or coming off of Cooperstown. Does that sound right?
yeah, it's going to run and it's going to dump into the Cheyenne around Cooperstown there.
And so the biggest question is it's 33,000 a year? 33,000 a year, whether we should buy into it or not, based on, will we need this in a drought year, those type of things. Because initially we said it was for industrial use. I don't think we ever said it was gonna be residential water, so.
Yeah, I don't know if you are going after industrial, if it's industrial only or.
It didn't sound like it, but we could allocate. I think it was based on the type of water you're getting or something. There was a lot to take in at that meeting.
I know there's been, I think 3 times in recorded history when the Red River was dry and there was no water running any direction. And so that if something like that happened now, everybody pulling water out of the red, but like Fargo and Grand Forks, they're picking up the biggest part of the check because they're going to be using the most of the water. But if that's the case, I'm sure the Goose River is going to be pretty dry at that time too. The city water right now is coming out of an aquifer, so you're coming out of the rural water. But if it gets into a drought, I think everything's going to kind of be a little bit drier. And I've been working on this project since 2006. There's been a lot of property acquisitions and surveying and stuff that I've worked on throughout the years.
What's your projected completion date of the whole project?
Now they're thinking, if they can it's all dependent on funding from the state, but if they can speed it up, it might be like 8 to 10 years, as opposed to 20 years if they get slow rollout of the money. I always thought it was pretty beneficial, but I'm not writing the check to it either. It's gonna pretty much help everybody from where it dumps into the Cheyenne this way. There's gonna be a lot of rural water systems that are gonna be hooking up to it in a lot of cities, and there's been talk about hooking up like a rural water hooking up to the water by Cooperstown and routing it through instead of having to go through the red or something. But right now the plan is to dump it into the Cheyenne and have it come around. But I could have somebody come and.
Do you think that
Give me the real sales
a
pitch.
representative from them would be,
Right, and I just haven't had a chance to reach out and get to him, so.
because they'd have more answers
Yep.
for
Yeah, I
the
mean, we have,
board?
Sean Gaddy in our office, he's one of the ones that was probably in on that meeting too, that
Yep, he was.
he can come out and give you a presentation on it or talk to you guys about it, answer other questions.
And I wasn't expecting Steve to sell you on this tonight, it was just.
No, I realize that.
Since you're not recording this, I can tell you whatever I want.
Well,
Pause.
I know the banner works.
it's recorded here, it's on your live event now, so. Okay,
Yeah, if you want, I can get somebody, rounded up to come to the meetings here and discuss it.
well, and I was gonna reach out to, I can't think of his name, the one that heads up the Garrison Diversion
Dwayne
Project.
DeCray?
Dwayne DeCray, to see if he'd be willing to come, or have one, so. He seems very knowledgeable, he's been in on it since the beginning, so.
Yep.
I just haven't gotten a hold of him yet, so,
Yeah, Sean in our office has been going around talking to a lot of communities about it too, so.
okay. And I did look, Steve, we have to have it done by the 30th of June in '25. And all money has to be pulled by April 30th. Project completion by June 30th, so.
Yeah, well, part of this is, before the state will release money, they need the matching funds from the locals, so
Yep.
they're rounding up to see what the matching funds looks like.
No, I meant on the pool project.
Oh, pool project, what's that?
It's June 30th of 2025. It has to be done by, grant is to be completed by June 30th, 2025, and then all funds must be drawn by April 30th, 2025.
Okay. So that's kind of tight then in the spring.
Right. Unless we have a really good summer or winter again.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bet on that one.
not twice in a row. I would.
Anything else for us, Steve?
That's all I had. If nobody else has any questions for me.
No.
I know spring is in full bloom because Dave's got his shorts on.
Yep. I knew you'd comment on that.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.
All right. The bids.
Yep. That's the only cleaning one that we got.
Okay.
That's where the,
Armory, or what is this for?
This is for the cleaning bid.
This is the cleaning bid. This would be City Hall and office and bathroom once per week, community center, kitchen, large office, 2 bathrooms, 1 time per week. And they are expecting 24 hours a month, $300 a month. And we would need to supply mop, broom, vacuum, microfiber cloths, multiple pruning, Mr. Clean floor cleaner, Windex, paper towels, toilet bowl cleaner, and garbage bags. And that is for Alicia's cleaning service, the same one that we have
That's here and over there.
here and there. The other one too,
Yep, for the,
spraying.
yep. Okay, so this is one, then this one's the other.
Okay.
And the two are a little different. The first one is from Cars Tree Service, and I believe they based their bid off of what was done in years past with Greenway,
Okay.
one application. It was requested in the bid to give the city what the recommendation is, and that's the route that Jacobson went with more so.
Okay.
So they are different.
Yes, they are. questions, thoughts? We can open for rebid, or we can have a motion to accept that bid.
I'll make a motion to accept it so we can have some conversation.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Paul, seconded by Jason. Is there any discussion?
We're not gonna, we never had much luck getting another bid last time either, did we? When we bid like for other areas, we struggled to find people,
No, we didn't.
so I'm just thinking we're gonna be kind of, unless somebody out there is gonna do less, we might as well get it done, so it's just my comment on it, so.
And that's what we're paying currently, correct?
It is.
Yep. So it's not a change.
Can I see that? The one with-
So it wouldn't be a change at all.
Be nice to get somebody that can help us out at the armory when we need, but obviously, we don't have a ton of choices.
Right. Any other discussion?
I have one discussion.
Okay.
In the event, commission were to approve Alicia's cleaning service, would you want a contract drawn with a time frame?
Yes, I think we should.
Okay.
Just checking.
JR, are you able to do that?
I can do something, yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
12 cents a buy box.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
12.
Nicole?
Yeah.
Paul?
Yes.
Yes,
Jason?
Yes,
Dave?
Yes,
And a yes for me. Motion carries. The other bid that we have tonight is for the spraying bids. The first one is from Jacobson Brothers out of Mayville. Their bid is for $3,500. And that is to cover the 20.37 acres, the 4 cemeteries and the 1 park. Spring application, May to mid-June, and a fall application, September to October, is what they are going to do. So 2 times per year. And the other one is from Cars Tree Service. They charge per acre for a 2-person crew, 6x6 sprayer, pickup, chemical included, or they do it by the hour. For the 6x6 or the truck sprayer is a different price, but they figured, I assume this is one-time treatment, so it'd be in the spring and one time in the fall, is $1,400.99, $1,499 per time.
do we have about what we were paying with the other, when Greenway would come around?
Last year's bill was a hair over 1,500.
And they only came that one time, right, last year?
Correct.
And I would assume with cars, they gave us a bid so that if you had other areas that we wanted to add on, that would be the price, so.
do we take care of the property along the railroad tracks
We do,
from the city shop going, and then down here also?
correct.
They could also spray around the fire hall if we wanted to put that in there while they're in town, because that seems to get just a weed patch over there too. Is Greenway no longer in business?
I believe they are.
In business,
Are they in business? Or-
Greenway's in business.
they must not bid it. Just did bid it, right?
They didn't bid, no. No, they had called and asked if the city would like to hire them again this year. And then I brought it to commission, and that's when it was suggested to put it out to bids.
Any discussion, or do you have a motion to accept one of the bids or to rebid?
So we're basically looking at about a $500 difference.
Yep. Which cars, I believe, are the ones that did our tree work. They seem to do good.
I make a motion, we go with cars.
Is there a second? Second?
So they have their total bid for $14.99 and then just the breakdown of what that $14.99 is.
I believe so, yep.
And we haven't had an issue with them before,
They've
right?
never done anything.
The Cars has never done.
Not
anything.
spraying.
Not spraying wide, just tree work. Last call. Do I have a second? Motion dies for lack of second. Is there any other discussion on this?
I'll make a motion to hire Jacobson's.
Is there a second?
One second.
Moved by Paul, seconded by Jason to hire Jacobson's. Is there any other discussion?
I know Jacobson do a lot of work around here, so I'm assuming that, I seen them over the courthouse, I seen a lot of places.
And they're local.
I know they're a little more, but, I've not heard anything bad about them. So that's just my view on it. Not that I've heard anything bad about cars either, but, I figure with the number of people that do it around here, I'm just disappointed that Greenway, was it Greenway you said?
Yep.
Disappointed they didn't put a bid in, so, but,
Greenway
That's just my
was who did
thoughts.
it before?
Yep.
there's a reason they didn't put a bid in or not, I don't know. But that's my motion.
Is there any other discussion? Jason?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes,
Dave?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carried. All right, motion to designate the official newspaper. I assume that we would use the Hillsboro Banner unless you want to use the Grand Forks Herald or the Fargo Forum
I better hurry, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
for the Hillsboro Banner.
we've never had a fast motion second like that in history.
Just to clarify, the banner, correct?
Yes.
Good clarification.
Is there, who seconded?
I did.
Nicole seconded. Moved by Dave, seconded by Nicole. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, Paul,
Yes,
Dave,
Yes.
Nicole,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
and a yes for me. Motion carries. Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
All right. We'll, we're just gonna put the Colonial Life in on the next item, so I'll let him talk if everybody's okay with that. All right.
Yep.
Good evening, I'm Dan. Thanks for letting me pinch hit. So, I've known Casey for a few years. A little bit about me. I work with Colonial Life. I do benefits for 20 counties in North Dakota and a bunch of cities. we looked at the benefits as far as what the city has access to currently. All we're proposing is that the city gives us permission to work with the employees. It appears from my calculations that we can save the city about $800 a year on their vision and about $2,000 a year on their dental, and by doubling their coverage and just better. So this is not a financial decision for the commissioners. It would just be, would you allow us to have another option to offer the city employees? And I have information to pass around if you'd like to review, because I know government loves paper trail.
I think you guys were added to the sheriff's, or to the courthouse a couple years ago, weren't you? Is that you
Yeah.
guys? Yeah.
Patty's the one that runs that one, but I'm all over the place, so.
So remind me again, dental and vision is through where right now?
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay, and that's voluntary through, that's the voluntary portion through Blue Cross, right?
Well, that's
That,
what we provide.
Yep.
the
We
city
provide.
provides that, yep.
Okay.
What, the additional that Dan also provides is, similar to Aflac, the additional insurances that employees take.
So this wouldn't
The pay
be
cut.
in replacement of, or it would be in replacement?
It would not.
It would not be.
It's
It's
ba-
just
it's-
additional.
Casey, correct me, it's basically just a supplement that if the employees want it, they can
Yeah.
Yeah.
choose to
Effect
join.
to
Cor-
current. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
So it would make sense because even to start, like, as it sits now, the city employees have to pay $50 deductible, and then they're on the hook for 20% just for x-rays and to see a dentist. All that's covered at 100%, no money out of pocket with us. And we also cost less per month, so. It looks like a win-win-win all across the board, but that's been my experience with it, so.
Has anyone ever done the packages where this is part of that and then the Blue Cross is just the health insurance? Because isn't one, like if you guys are automatically getting vision and dental?
Yes.
So that's automatically getting paid and then you would have a supplemental on top of that.
Mhm.
So,
Could we use this
Or-
as a supplemental?
That's what I was
that's
just gonna
what I
ask.
was wondering. That's where I was trying to get to, but
I know where you were going.
it didn't come out that way.
So if they were to choose it, would it be out of pocket, or would you take it out of their check, or?
The city currently pays this,
Right, yeah,
so this cost would change to this cost.
okay.
Right, it would
So we would
effectively
be-
save the city money.
Essentially, we would be saving $21.40
Okay.
Yep.
yearly.
Any other supplemental insurance that Dan offers, though, would be a payroll deduction, not a
Correct.
payroll benefit.
Correct.
Okay.
Elected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the,
But they'll still get it, they can still decide which one they want?
If,
Or do
even
you
if,
have to go with one or the other?
as far as dental and vision versus the other supplemental insurances offered,
Yeah, well, colonial.
right now, we don't deal with any other supplemental. We deal with ND PERS, Sanford Health Plan for the health insurance, and then Blue Cross Blue Shield for dental and vision. Dan's proposal is to have Colonial Life take over dental and vision to save the city money, plus give the employees an opportunity to pay for their own supplemental insurance at low rates out of their paycheck in a payroll deduction.
Would, or do you know if they're not in a preferred provider, how does that affect?
so we have 20 preferred providers in Fargo, Moorhead, and we have 9 in Grand Forks. So there's 9 in Hillsboro, they currently aren't on your program now, so.
Is Rex from Mayville, Rexine, or?
Rexine, is in there, but for vision, there's a lot more vision places available than
Yeah.
dentists, because there's more eye doctors, they have smaller
Right, that's why I was thinking Rexine probably has on Broadway, it's in Fargo, but I
Yep.
didn't know if he is in Mayville. As
They both
different,
are.
they both are, okay. So the Mayville's included, okay?
But, and we come up in October? Is that our,
For dental vision,
yeah,
it's sometime that time of year, because I just signed the newest agreement when I started.
right.
That was
It
probably
sounds about
November.
right.
So we'd have to redo it then, we couldn't change
I mean,
this.
I'm a new provider, you can make it whenever you want, so, but if you add a different carrier, it opens open enrollment for everything you've got, so. I'm not gonna touch the health coverage stuff, because I don't do that. This is just voluntary, and then if you wanted to have savings and greater benefit with the dental and vision, we can offer that too. If you'd like to wait till October to save the money, that's fine. I can do it in October.
Well, I just meant the dental and vision one is our, is it a yearly contract that we have with them for the insurance?
I'd have to double check, but I think it is every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's renewed every year.
I guess my only biggest question, and maybe this was asked, is outside the money part, the benefits are pretty, I mean, the coverage is pretty good compared to Blue Cross, or is it better?
It's twice as good
Okay,
in most cases. As far as preventative,
okay.
ours goes up to 2,000 a year. The one that's currently in place stops at 1,000, and you have to pay money on your first visit just to get your teeth looked at, and your x-rays aren't even covered at 100%. So it's gonna cost you
Oh,
a
the
lot
Colonial
more to
is
keep what
covered
you
at
have.
100 for that? Okay,
X-rays,
it's better than you.
exams, everything's covered at 100%.
I would,
I'm with Blue Cross, and I would believe we're on the same plan, and my x-rays are covered.
Well, the one case you gave me,
X-rays are covered through the county.
there isn't anything
Mhm.
covered at 100% on your plan.
On the county one, on the county one, there is.
County there is.
There must be different sets, because they've got.
Both part of
9
hers, isn't it?
flavors.
Hmm?
Both part of hers,
Our Blue Cross Blue Shield doesn't.
isn't?
If you'd like, I can let you view the city's plan, so.
My thought is if we're gonna look at this, I think we should also look at health insurance as well, because I know when the county switched from Sanford to Blue Cross, we saved money, and I think most of us feel we have a better service too. We got off the first Sanford one.
so we're on the grandfather plan, which is different than what I think the county had, because they had switched. And so the max out of pocket, I think that our employees pay now is 1,200, 16 for a single.
Think so. I'd have to look. I can't
It's
remember.
pretty low. Because we had looked at changing a while back, going to an HSA plan and sticking money into the HSA, but nobody wanted to at that point. But I'm willing to look into it
You
if,
can always look at quotes, yeah. Hurt
so,
anything.
Cause you know, if we're gonna go away from that, possibly go away from the vision and dental, I think we should look at the health as well.
Does the dental office in Towner accept the Colonial insurance?
they don't accept
There's
anything.
an option to do that. It's closer to what you have now, so we have an in-network and an out-of-network plan. The in-network plan does not work with the one in town.
Blue Cross Blue Shield doesn't either. So Jay had tried and they,
I think
Okay,
they started
good.
dropping a bunch of insurances.
He doesn't have any insurance in
Yeah,
place.
I didn't think so.
A lot of small town dentists are just going to cash, because they don't want to deal with the networks anymore.
If you're okay, I can take this and look and see what the employees want to do and kind of come back with an idea.
Yeah, it'd be good to get their input.
But if you guys want to offer the other portions of it, which I don't know, what other things do you guys offer for
So
them?
we do short-term disability, long-term disability, cancer, critical illness, accident, dental vision, life insurance, so.
I'd make the motion to accept the supplemental.
Okay, is there a second?
And that's if the employee,
That's,
It's all-
that's their choice.
yep.
Yep.
I'll make a second on that.
Moved by Jason, seconded by Paul to offer the supplemental side for with Colonial. Is there any other discussion?
My name's Dave.
Or Dave?
What did he call you?
It's been a long day, Dave.
That's right.
Happy
I didn't know I could throw
Monday.
my voice.
Any other discussion? Nicole?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes,
And a yes for me. Motion carries. Thank you. I'll let you work with Casey on that and we'll be in touch on the,
Perfect.
on this portion of it.
Give you the rest of the folder.
That would be good. Do you have the contact information?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Is the medical, health up at the same time? Or are they up on different?
I feel like that's in June every 2 years. I can't remember which 2 years it is though. I'll look.
Okay.
Next, we have the fire department request for the budget dollars, and that was just that we pay them out instead of, which we kind of agreed on that before.
Yeah, we talked about that at their meeting when they were here,
Thank you, sir.
to just
Thank you.
cut them a
Thanks,
check
Dad.
for their budget.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a good meeting.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
You need a motion for that?
Yep, just to pay it out, that dollar amount.
I'll make the motion.
Dave makes a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Paul, moved by Dave, is there any other discussion? Jason,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes,
Nicole,
Yes.
and a yes for me. Motion carries. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. See you later.
Let's see. We have the tap that site authorization. We'll do that one first. Oops. And they had bingo, raffles, pull tab dispensing, electronic pull tab, price board dispensing device, sports pools, 21, poker and Calcuttas. In there on the things that they would like to do on that site authorization. They came and they were a little early. They thought our meeting was at 5. And so they just wanted to make sure that they knew that they have donated out $91,000 to the community on the funds that they have taken in. So,
Yeah, because they already have some of the pull tab type of devices, don't they?
Right.
That's what I thought.
So we need a motion to approve that. If you would
I'll
like,
make a motion to approve.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Dave. I got it right this time, Dave.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Paul,
yes,
Nicole,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
motion, and I vote yes for me and motion carries. Next item is,
Even forgetting about himself.
I know, I told you it's been a long day. Haven't had a break. But I did it myself, so. Next item is the Our Savers raffle permit.
Make the motion.
Moved by Dave, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Paul, is there any other discussion? Dave,
Yes.
Nicole,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes,
and a yes for me, motion carries. Let's see, the sidewalk project, we already made the motion on that, so we're good there. Hillsboro Days event permit for wine sales.
So, is the permit for the wine sales, is there also something about the farmer's market wine sales too? I feel like they kind of collided together or something.
I'm referring to JR on this.
I am too.
Well,
Right? Or am I,
Or Hillsboro Days event permit, nope, there's Hillsboro's Days and then there's the,
two separate? Because I thought the farmer's market also wanted to know if they could do permit for wine sales for that Red Pine Distillery last year, I believe.
when they had talked to me about an event permit, it was just for Hillsboro Days.
Okay.
And it was just in discussion about wine sales.
Okay.
So,
So it's totally two different separate things, okay?
Yep, from
I
my
think
understanding.
that's my understanding as well.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any issues with that? Looks like event permit for wine sales. I'm assuming that's just to be out as a vendor?
Yes. And the form was the form that the commission had approved last year. It was a pretty basic form. I couldn't find the blank copy, otherwise we would have had it tonight. But it was very, very basic, very dated, you know, had the date on it and the vendor and all that.
So they would just need an event permit if they're gonna do it, so.
Yep.
So, okay. So I think we're answered there.
And that goes on the street here, correct? Or where is that gonna go on?
I thought that we would do the craft market right underneath the tent. Or
That's what I'm thinking.
That sounds right.
I don't know.
We'd have to, when
might
we get
wanna
the
clarify
permit,
all
we would
that.
know for sure where it's
You might
gonna
wanna
be.
clarify the location. I don't know where they're doing it for Hillsboro Days.
The only thing I had was that email. I know nothing more than that. This is the permit that will be required.
you know.
Right,
Yeah,
So
I
I guess
don't
they
know
should
what
fill out the
specific
application for
location.
said permit and we'll answer these questions.
yes, it would.
I think that, yeah.
All right.
I'll get in touch with Tara.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next item is the Helper Act. I had received the emails, they had sent twice and basically just asking for letter of support to send to Congress for allowing the, similar to the veterans, loan for homes. And so, just wanted to know if you guys wanted me to do that or not before I signed off on it.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good deal for first responders.
Yeah, I read it. I don't have any issues with it.
I just didn't want to send it and not. So if you're okay with that, I don't know if you guys want a motion, otherwise I can just send it, so.
Do we need a motion to send it?
Not
I mean,
necessarily.
just to be-
I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to make you aware of it before I did it, so.
Oh, I think you're okay. I think I'm okay with you sending it, Levi.
Okay, thank you. Being that it's on city letterhead and all that, so that's what I wanted to make sure. Okay. Next item is auditor's contract and 6-month evaluation. And they.
Did that already come up?
Yes, it did. You guys sent all your evaluations back and they were just horrible, so I don't know if we can keep her for another 6 months or not. We'll have to put her on probation, I think.
We're gonna have to extend it on.
Just kidding.
She's like, don't make me sweat.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Should have seen your face though.
Gotta keep her in mind. You know,
Right.
get
All
a-
the evaluations came
get a big
back.
head.
It's fine.
Hopefully you guys liked the process. It worked really well for Casey and I. She still has a couple answers, questions for me. I forgot to come back and ask you for them.
Oh,
But I'll work on that later.
okay.
So we just need a motion to approve, if we want to move Casey off of the probation and make her continued on. So do I have a motion? for
I'll
that?
make the motion.
Dave makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Jason. Any other discussion?
Are you sure you wanna hang around, or? is it okay?
I'm,
I don't want you to make you feel obligated, you know.
well, Sarah and Abby said I can't quit. So, and I don't want to quit. I enjoy you guys quite a bit. So thank you.
I just want to say that I think your office is just doing a wonderful job for the city. I've heard nothing but good things about every one of you guys that are working in there and the cooperation you have with the other departments. And I think you've turned this office around. It's, in my opinion, it's just great.
And she has checked off the boxes that we had asked her to do in the first 6 months, so. Some are out of her control, like the audit can't be done, but it's getting close, so, but most of the things that she could control. And a lot of the other things that we asked on the list are even in motion ahead of what we even thought, so. I appreciate you, Casey, and what you're doing, and in the office and for the community. Is there any other discussion? Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes,
Dave?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
And that means you get a raise in the next.
Thanks again, you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next item is the street closures. Thursdays in June through September from 4 to 7:30, and that would be out here.
Yeah, make sure they work with the city crew for proper barricades, so we don't have somebody driving through.
are they doing it just once a month, twice a month now, do you know?
Thursdays.
Every Thursday they're gonna do it again?
That's what I had understood.
And then I believe they wanted to use this as backup if needed, if it rained or something. Kind of basically the same as last year.
Sounds good.
Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Nicole, seconded by Jason to approve the farmer's market closures. Any other discussion? Paul?
Yes,
Dave?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
And a yes for me. Last item on the agenda is the change to the bid on the garbage RFP, and this was from, that would be to, where is it again? That it wouldn't be mandatory, it would be optional to help with the city cleanup. And then the other change was, is that the red? Where it was separate, they wanted it together?
Yes.
And that must have been where we just missed it. So all commercial businesses would be part of our bid instead of, I think it just got missed on the contract because I think we assumed, I thought we had that change.
it was, yeah, it was supposed to be in there.
Yep. So the only change, or maybe this is just what you had highlighted in that section. But, so then, is everybody okay with those changes? And if so, can we wouldn't need to necessarily have a motion on it because they haven't submitted it with those, correct?
I don't think it's needed, but you could, wouldn't harm.
As long as I'm guessing they just want to know if it's gonna be an okay thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Countrywide actually helped me make these amendments, just to align more with what the city currently does for cleanup week and the contract. So,
So as long as when they turn it in, if they write on their contract, if they wanna do that changes, then I think we would be okay. Was that?
It looks good, Levi.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. I'm double check we're not missing anything. I feel like I'm missing one thing. What do you think of it?
I can't think of anything. It was nice.
Since you're looking through.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I remember what it was. Was more of an information thing. There was two things. One is, we had gotten, and Jason had forwarded on too, but we had gotten, there's a potential grant through Department of Homeland Security for, I can't remember exactly on it. Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly what.
I want to say it was for security cameras and those types of things.
I think it was, yeah, similar to the other grants that we, but this one it looked like was 100%.
Correct. Yep. So I just want to know if you guys are okay with us working in on that. and
Or
looking-
the armory or all city buildings or what?
It looked like all city buildings.
Yep.
I have to dig into it a little bit more, but if you're okay with that.
It
Okay.
is 100% reimbursable, and includes the nonprofit grant as well. Deadline is June 5th at 12 PM.
So we got to make sure we get going on it before next meeting. So if you're okay with that, we'll work with Casey and everybody to get that done. So do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make,
motion.
oh, go ahead, no, go
I'll
ahead.
make the motion to approve.
Moved,
I'll
seconded.
second it.
Moved by Jason, seconded by Dave to apply for the Homeland Security grant. Is there any other discussion?
Would this be different than the security that's under the,
Yes.
okay,
Yep.
that's my only question.
Any other discussion? Paul,
Yes,
Nicole,
Yes,
Dave,
Yes,
Jason?
Yes.
And a yes for me. And the other last item, now I remember this because it thought it brought up grant. We were notified that we are number 12 on the priority list for the generation under that funding. So that would mean that we would, it has to go to FEMA and Homeland Security to get signed off on, but if that goes through, then we would get approved for the funding for the 2 generators to add. It was kind of good because Trail County had top 2 priority projects and we hit number 12, so Trail County is getting quite a few projects in on this, so. Just wanted to give you an FYI on that. Is there anybody here to address the commission tonight?
I would like to say a word.
Okay,
I haven't showed up lately.
We were getting worried.
Not as worried as I was.
are you feeling better?
No.
No?
I'm really glad to hear it.
Oh, boy.
First of all, I think you commissioners should give our lady auditor a hand of applause for doing a good job and being a full-time employee now and look to her long future in Hillsboro. Can you put your hands together? Now, some questions, and I don't expect answers tonight, okay? Equipment use. Can employees take it out of the city limits? Number one, I don't think they should be using the equipment anyway. And the reason for that is, what's the liability? They go out in their backyard or the country and hit a fiber cable or something? Who's gonna pay for it? I hope they're homeowners, otherwise, I think the company that owns it, or the city that owns the machine might have to dig in their pockets. I think it's one of the things that got kind of slid in with a bunch of other things under older administration and supervision. And I think you better start thinking about curtailing some of it. Secondly, is it absolutely necessary to furnish pickups to the employees so they can go home and eat lunch or run out to Burger King on their off time? For years, and even back when this old guy was on commission, it was a standing rule. The only time you were in a vehicle that belonged to the city was when you were on city time doing a city project. Nothing's happened yet, but the day that somebody hits a kid or something, and I hope it never happens with a city vehicle, think about it. It's not a wise policy. You can check around with other towns. There's very few towns that let anybody use a vehicle other than for their official business. Vehicle storage, is the city responsible to park campers in it over winter? Think about I guess I got a couple things, I hate to bring them up, but I did sit here and kind of hit my tongue. Number one, I'm hard of hearing, and I'm the first to admit it. Number two, I don't know about half of what you guys said tonight, but I'm sure you did a good job. I was gonna ask about the audit report, and I did hear the fact that it wasn't done, if I understood that right.
Correct. It is close. They are doing their final review on it, if I
Okay,
remember.
that's fine, I just,
Yep.
I think it's nice that you, have people come in and discuss things about benefits for the health, but I think the city has got policies now and packages for the health that is equal or succeeds anyone around here. There's gotta be a point where we draw the line and say, hey, if you want, and I'll use this generically, Aflac, sure, pay for it.
That's what it is.
And that's
Yeah.
usually the way it works, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, I couldn't hear that back there, but
Okay.
it's what, the other thing,
The only part we looked at was they may be able to save us money on dental and vision, so we're going to look into that.
step lightly when you're comparing stuff, whatever. I had a couple other things I wanted to bring up, but I won't at this time. I don't know what's wrong here, but sitting back there, and I know I'm deaf, but honest to God, you guys have either got to get handheld megaphones or you're gonna have to get us old people sitting right here so we know what you're saying.
Well, I moved the microphone, or I moved the speaker back here because it was to see if it's the cable or what's wrong with it. But the feedback I got tonight was that online it's perfect. So now we gotta get it back in here again,
Sure,
so.
one night I come here and don't watch it at home.
Yep.
All right, well,
I'm,
If
we
it
can't
goes
keep
bad-
everybody happy.
well.
We're trying.
Well,
If it goes bad, Chuck, we're gonna have to hire you to come to the
suggestion
meeting.
though,
Come to
turn
the
your tables a little bit, put the podium off to the side, I don't need to stand and look in the middle of you. And leave it wide open in here so people can see at least whose lips are moving.
Yeah.
I don't know, the press could be on one side, the podium could be on one side, I don't wanna tell you how to do it, but, for the people, and I'm really astonished when you say the people at home could hear tonight, because it doesn't get an A rating in my book, but that's okay,
But I did some tweaking, so that was one of the things, I got it tweaked. But I moved this because we were getting so much static and feedback, so I was trying to figure out a few things, and hopefully next meeting we can get it back over there, so.
The other thing that really disturbed me was, I don't know why we just voted on and approved to get an outfit to come in here and spray and give them a 20% bonus. Why? What was wrong with, tell me something negative about the other company, or tell me the plus with the ones you've accepted. 20% don't sound like much, but you go out and buy a payloader, I sure as hell hope you don't pay 20% more just because it's a different color. I don't understand that, guys, I really don't. 20% you could have gave all the part-time help a raise. You know, there's some things that just don't add up, and that's one of them. And maybe there's a good sound reason, because I don't know nothing about either company. I do know Carr does the tree work, and I see Jacobson's across the street, so they're both viable businesses, I'm not saying that, but in the future, think twice on 20%. I could see $100, $200, but 20%, that gets to be quite a piece of money in any man's pocket. Now, no, I'll leave that till next time. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. Anybody else that would like to address the commission tonight?
Just take it slow.
I'm going to. Again, I too would like to congratulate you on your job. Well done. I hear nothing but good about the job you're doing, and it's nice to see things running at a great pace in the office and getting things turned around. My question is for you, JR. In our new election that's coming up, can you tell me how this would work? There's myself and others that I talked to a concern about when we have a gentleman that's running for commissioner unopposed, but his wife is working in the office. Now, how does that work when it comes to like voting for anything in the handbook, raises, anything employee related? Or can he have any input, or how's that gonna work? Can it work?
I'd say it'd be on a case-by-case basis of the item, but it just follow the general conflict of interest rules that affect in any voting decision that a board has.
Well, what does that do for the, outcome of the city commission when they're voting on various items?
They
He
would
could,
vote on.
he
they
could
would-
choose to,
No, I know,
he could
but
choose
you
to
don't have the
abstain.
input, you only got you don't have the input of every commissioner. I think it weakens it, and I don't care about, I mean, I care about it or I wouldn't be up here. But I'm just wondering how that's gonna work. And who's gonna police that?
Commissioner,
You, Levi, who?
We'd have to police it ourselves.
be self-policed, there'd be certain things that if you are, he'd have to absolutely abstain from, and others he can always abstain himself. I'd look at the agenda tonight, and you tell me one thing tonight you couldn't have decided,
That's true.
and look at the
Tonight.
last few agendas.
Tonight.
I don't know a time a conflict's happened.
Well, there was, I can think of one.
Only thing would be, obviously, salary increases and performance reviews.
Yeah, there was a couple things.
But other than that,
Yeah, when that gentleman was up here too.
yes, but that didn't cost the city any money.
Maybe not. Well, I just wanted to bring that up, so it's a concern that I have.
We're a small town, conflicts like these happen all the time. I'm wearing 3 hats when I'm up here sometimes, so.
Yeah, I know that. Years ago, let's see, I think Dave, I don't know if you, no, you were, I don't know if you were on the city commission. You might, if you were the only one. They hauled out dirt by the ditch, by the county road there. You know, it's filled up to Yvonne Wright's.
Yeah.
But then you go north of that, it's that big ditch. And they hauled out dirt, they paid to haul out mounds and mounds of dirt. Now, I was told, and if I'm wrong, correct me, do they have extra dirt someplace? Can they put a culvert in there and run that right to the river and make that so it looks nice like the,
You mean on the north side of the
yeah,
city street?
north of Wright's? That big ditch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause they kind of stopped right there, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they can, and I don't know if, I don't know
I'd
if we
like
have
to-
enough
I'd
dirt
like to-
stockpiled to do that.
I'd like to see them do that because they hauled out enough to fill that up easily, you know?
And that'd be something that we'd have to have Steve getting involved, 'cause there'd have to be, you know, there'd have to be grades set and, you know,
Culvert size.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
but I think that's.
but yeah, anything, I mean, they could cover, yeah, right up to the city street if it was done right, yeah.
One other thing that's on my mind is that we're talking about streets and water and sewer. If we ever get to the point where we're fixing our streets, this engineering firm that was down our way, they're talking about wanting a holding pond. I think they built it down by our place. You go down there by Matthews and Paulswood's, you get a rain and that's just all flooded down there up to like decks. And I'm just thinking, for what they were talking, I can't remember, was it 4 million out of the 12 for engineering? I hope to hell if when they do something they look at the mess that we got around town from some of these people. Well, anyway, I guess that was my main concern. I know it's, that's what you got, Dave, one more meeting? Two?
3.
You got that many?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. And
Thank you, Rick.
Well, I just wanted to address that with you, JR. And so I hope that's something that doesn't weaken this commission in any way. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Anything else? To go to the order? I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by Jason. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting is adjourned.